Is it? We move on to Stacey Pickering, Director, Mississippi Veterans Affairs, and Mike Barkett, Presidente, Mississippi Construction Education Foundation. Good morning, one and all. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Is your mic on, sir?
We're not on.
Perez, you want to turn his mic on? Thank you, sir, very much.
Hey, we're here. Hey, Paul, how are you today?
Good to have you. You were out of pocket for a while, weren't you?
No, we've just been running nursing homes on the COVID, taking care of our veterans, and
Everything is okay?
we're out of it. We've been.
Either of you you got both of your shots? Everything's okay?
I've got both my
Everything's okay.
shots. Everything's good.
No downside on them?
No, matter of fact, my second shot didn't have really any side effects at all. It was great. Most of our staff, it's essential as we run the 4 nursing homes for our veterans in Mississippi. 90% of our vets got the vaccine. Most all of our staff have got it, so we can care for them without that concern. And so we're getting ready to reopen the homes. Not Mike and I aren't here to talk about this, but in about 2 weeks, we're going to do Operation Family Reunion. It'll be the first time in a year we've been able to bring this family in, have a meal, hugs, touches. We're excited.
And they'll still do the mask and everything else.
We'll still do the mask, the screening, instant test if they haven't had the vaccine for family members. But it's time to get folks reunited, and we're glad that we're finally getting to this point.
That is fabulous news.
Yeah.
Stacey, do you have any Johnson & Johnson allocated to you guys now?
No, we haven't. We had already gone through Moderna at most of our homes and facilities and Pfizer before the Johnson & Johnson was approved. So we've already vaccinated all of our nursing homes through the first 2 rounds. And so when the Johnson & Johnson hit, the VA medical centers and their CBOCs, the clinics out in the communities around the state, the veterans can go there now. And it's kind of a mix. You're going to get, in some clinics, there will be Johnson & Johnson shot the one time, but most of it is still the Moderna and the Pfizer.
I've heard some stories, Mike, of some people who are like 98, or one lady was, 104, Perez? And she got it, and she survived. So you just never know. Never know. And I'm sure there are some stories like that of people.
We had some guys that were, they were in their late 90s living in our nursing homes in Mississippi, our state veterans homes. And these vets, my favorite quote on Shot Day, we had one of the guys here in Jackson said, if D-Day was when we won World War II, this is our D-Day on the vaccine. He was so excited. He was rolling up his sleeve.
He was just looking for a fight.
He was ready, man. These vets, they were ready to get that vaccine and get back to normal.
Okay, so now what are you two guys coming together for what? Explain this to me.
Well, several years ago, we had this idea of calling a program to take veterans that were incarcerated, give them an opportunity to learn a trade, learn a skill, and once they get released, they will have a start on a new lease on life. So we call this program a Second Chance program. We built the program at MCEF. We got it ready to go, but the biggest problem we had, we couldn't find the people. And then Stacey and I partnered together, and B.R. Hawkins also helped us. And now we've got a program up and running where today we've got 10 incarcerated veterans who are going through a 12-week boot camp. When they complete that boot camp, they will have done 10 weeks of learning, hands-on skills and learning how to become carpenters. Then we're going to look for a 2-week program where they can work with Habitat for Humanity and utilize those skills that they've attained. And when they graduate, Paul, they're going to graduate with equipment that they need, the tools they need to go to work with. They're going to be guaranteed a job, and they're going to be given a stipend of which they're earning right now, of approximately $3,000 to get them started on a new career.
How many veterans do we have that are in that classification as far as incarcerated?
Working with Department of Corrections and Burl Cain, they've been great partners in this as well. 7.5% of those incarcerated in Mississippi are veterans. They got off of active duty. They got in trouble with the law. They've made mistakes. And so when I became director of Mississippi Veteran Affairs, the first national meeting I went to, I heard a presentation about a program called Humvee up in Massachusetts, Housing Unit for Military Veterans. Well, I came back and said, what are we doing in this arena? Because their recidivism rate in Massachusetts, and we had a sheriff from Arizona, had this Republican Democrat. Didn't matter about party. Yeah. Both of them had 1% recidivism rate. Veterans were getting trained, coming out on parole, going to work, and they weren't coming back to prison.
Just running some numbers here, and I don't know, I'm probably off. Is that about 1,500 people?
About 1,500 people in our prison system right now. Right now, we're putting about 75 through there. So the prisoners enter this system 18 months before parole. Mm-hmm. We do character and moral training, integrity training in part of that. Microsoft, we have a computer lab, so they come out Microsoft certified. But partnered with MSIF, this is kind of where we backed in. They were trying to do their second chance program. We're building out the Humvee program out at Rankin County Correctional Facility. And it's like, wait a second, we can marry these two projects and we can both do it. So they're actually helping us.
Congratulations, because a lot of times it never happens.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who gets the credit. Yeah. And so we've had 96 veterans complete this program in the last 2 years. Only 4 have gone back to prison. The rest are gainfully employed. And so these 10 that are going through the carpentry program right now, already, I think we were talking this morning, 8 of them already have job offers.
What else is it besides the carpenter?
We started out just as a pilot with the carpentry, but I'm proud to say that I have secured additional funding for another program, and we're going to do a carpentry and an HVAC program after we complete this.
Now, this is 2 different programs. That's what MSIF is doing at their facility at Lab. We're building another facility there in the old kitchens at the Rankin County Correctional Facility that not only has carpentry, HVAC, electrical, it has masonry, welding, pipe fitting, because the ship industry, Ingalls, VT Halter, U.S. Marine have all said, we will take everyone that will come and go to work for us.
Is this done on a day release, or is it done within the prisons, or are they on parole? What's the status?
Well, that's the real cool thing for Mike. Like he said, trying to find them and get them in. So Burl Cain, on some of the reforms they're doing at Department of Corrections, he dedicated a couple of guards, a van to us, and we're transporting them over to their lab every day. It's like going to work. And, of course, they're there, they're in their prison uniforms, but they're learning how to be a carpenter, and they transport them back to the prison that afternoon. And, again, they get out. Some of them get out as early as September, October. Companies are sitting there waiting for them with jobs, and Mike and his foundation, and this, make sure we're clear, this is contractors across the state, HVAC contractors, road builders, asphalt, concrete, are all on his board, and they all contribute. They're paying these guys up to $300 a week, and they're holding that money in escrow. So when they parole, not only are they going to be waiting for them at the gate and say, here's your tools to be a carpenter, and here's your job, who's going to hire you to take those tools and go to work with a paycheck. Here's your $3,200 to go pay your rent and get your apartment. Yep. And so MSIF and our contractors, it's a pipeline for those guys, and they're doing the right thing. And, I was telling Mike, it's a redemptive story. We Mississippians, we go to church on Sunday, we hear about redemption, we like redemptive stories. You just read Grisham, Faulkner. It's baked into our DNA. And that's what this story is all about.
Where would you like to take us next? To electronics or things like that to expand it? Or where does this go next?
Yes, on the second chance program that we're doing, the boot camp, I'd like to expand it to masonry, plumbing, HVAC, and carpentry, because those are the highest demand jobs right now that we're looking for. We don't have them available, and we need to train that workforce.
I think the misnomer, some people think when you hear veterans, you're thinking World War II or Vietnam, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about some of these guys are how old?
Yeah, you're talking 30-year-olds. I mean, they served, got in the military right out of high school. Some of them are wartime veterans. They've been overseas in the big sandbox, part of the global war on terror. And, they come back, they get out. Others, they come to Mississippi, they're at one of our military bases, and they get out and they wind up staying here, get in trouble with the law because they don't have a plan. And so this is part of taking them all the way from when they leave service all the way through.
Now, how many did you say have graduated and are in the workplace now?
96.
96 are doing that now.
They're gainfully employed.
And 96, how many have gone back to prison?
Only 4.
Only 4. That's an incredible,
in just 2 years,
incredible success. You said you had a story you want to tell.
Yeah, I want to tell you. One of the things that we do, as Stacey said, they come to work for us at 7:30 in the morning. They stay to 4 o'clock. We feed them. We take care of, making sure that everything's in order. There's a guard provided that's along with them and a van to transport them. But we feed them every day, and we get a plate lunch and, make sure that they've got a good meal and all that. And one day we were feeding everybody, and one of them said, "Thank you for the food. We appreciate it, but," and when you hear a but, you kind of back up and say, "Well, okay, what's going to happen?" He said, "Do you think there's a possibility we could get pizza?" And I said, "We can get you pizza." And then
it's contraband.
He said, "We haven't had pizza in like 10 or 15 years." And then another one said, "You think we can get ice cream?" And I said, we can do that. But the morale is great. They're learning. They're working bees out there. I tell you, they built, take down, rebuild, and they're learning the skill. And you can't ask for anything more than that.
I'm not sure because, we travel only in one small area every day where we work, but just in this area, the amount of homes is just unbelievable. The construction is just, we, our friend Lee Garland does some work for us. Or we do some work for him as far as Lee Garland's concerned, and he's got a tremendous agency. And he talks about it all the time, that you only have, if you had no more houses coming on the market, you'd be out of houses within a month.
You would be. And
it's just the construction is just incredible.
Well, it's here in the Metro Jackson. It's on the Gulf Coast. It's statewide.
Olive Branch, DeSoto County, all those places.
Absolutely. And so this gives an opportunity and a pipeline for our contractors, but it's also our industrial contractors that are looking for these opportunities and buildings that are going up. And we are having growth in pockets of Mississippi. And this is a way that we can help continue to feed that instead of looking outside the state and bringing folks from Louisiana and Tennessee in, we can do it ourselves.
That's Mike, right. This group, this demographic has got to be pretty pleasant to work with in a way because they've got the discipline that they've gotten from the military.
Absolutely. And the program that they had to go through prior to getting in this program, the screening that they went to, the work ethic, all of those things. Yes, they've been a joy to work with. They're very eager to learn. They realize this is a great opportunity for them. And we've had absolutely zero problem. It's just been a great opportunity for both of us.
What percentage is any females in here? Just mostly
not
male?
Yet. It's all male in the Humvee.
Is it open to
in the
females?
Humvee program? It's not at this time because we've got to build this out because then we'll have to have a separate housing. So our goal is hopefully within 2 years we'll start our first women's program.
Co-ed's not a good idea in this particular case.
I'm not going to say I'm an expert on that, but I would predict that would not be a good move, and the commissioner and Department of Corrections may not appreciate it if we tried to go that direction.
Call lawyer line 1. So,
but I think we'll have that pretty soon coming in, hopefully in the next 2 years.
What's the next step, Mike?
Next step is that, as I said, I've just been notified that we've got additional funding. We're completing this group. They'll be getting ready to go. We're connecting with Habitat for the last 2 weeks in May, our first 2 weeks in May, for them to go spend 2 weeks on the job. Then we'll take a breath and we'll retool and start another 12-week program with carpentry and
How many
HVAC.
can you handle at one time?
We can do 10 in each course, so there'll be 20 in this, 10 carpentry, 10 HVAC.
If you had the money, could you expand that?
If you added more instructors. One instructor can't do more than 10 students at any given time. It just doesn't work.
So, Paul, that's at their facility. Once we get our facility online, which actually the carpentry is online where we are, that's an additional pipeline.
Now, where physically you're talking about?
We're at the corrections facility in Rankin County. We're at the prison. We're inside the wire is where our and Mike and his staff have helped us build it out. Our instructors are those that are serving life sentence. They've already been trained. They've taken the test. They're certified, just like Mike's instructors are. So you got their second chance boot camps going on. You got our Humvee. We call it the VSET. It's the Vocational Career Education Training Facility. And so we've got 2 programs that are going simultaneously. We're helping Mike with Department of Corrections and Burl Cain and their staff to get the prisoners and the veterans that are incarcerated into their program and transported. They're helping us build out our labs to match theirs. And when they come out of prison, they have their apprenticeship card for level 1 and level 2 apprenticeships. They can show up at any work site, and they are fully trained, ready to go to work. Little difference is we don't pay hours naturally. They're in prison, but I'm also not having to pay for instructors. The staff, we were going to have to hire someone to run it and do all the paperwork. And we have a prisoner who said, wait a second, I can do that because I'm not getting out. Yeah. I'm not getting paroled.
Just as an inquiry, is there any military money that they've earned as far as there's retirement, anything that's held there for them?
Well, some of them have a little bit of pension. Most of these got out without a pension. They didn't do the 20 years. But there are some veteran benefits some of them are entitled to. So that's where part of our program, we interview each one of them, go through their DD-214, their military record. We'll file a claim with the VA. Now, they can't draw that down while they're in prison, but as soon as they get out, they've got access to counseling and mental health support, the VA clinics and hospitals, wherever they are. And so it makes sure they have that safety net and the benefits that they were entitled to when they did serve our country honorably.
Mike, what do you need for the public out there? Do you need more people participating as far as any businesses or corporations?
Well, we've got a good network. what we need is people to help us out if they've got some folks that they know of that are looking for work. We have that COIN program where we can post resumes. We're anxious to build our own workforce, so we just need the public to realize that if you've got a young grandson, whatever, nephew that's looking to find a career, we can train them, send them to us, and we can see where we can go with that from there.
Got you, my man. Appreciate it. Any final thoughts, Chip? Chip.
It's just one of those Pickering boys. Just one of those Pickering boys.
It must be Friday. Stacey, any final thoughts, sir?
Yeah, and it's Thursday, by the way, not Friday yet.
No, it is Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday for me.
It's Friday.
No, it's not Friday.
No, it's Thursday.
It's Friday for him.
All right, I'm off tomorrow, so we call it
MSVA.ms.gov. If you're a veteran in the state of Mississippi, and it doesn't matter whether it's claims, it's access to one of our nursing homes, our cemeteries, but also looking for a job opportunity, you can just go to our website, msva.ms.gov, or follow us on Facebook, MS Veteran Affairs.
And you?
Just if you got folks that want to get trained, want to learn a skill, give us a call. Go to our website, mcef.net, and we look forward to talking with you.